dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYNT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good morning, I'm Lauren Osborne. Today's Saturday, April 23rd. Let's check in with meteorologist Arden Gregory for a look at your forecast this morning. Yesterday was not the greatest day in the world. Is today going to be better, or is it going to stay the same?
Today does look pretty nice, actually.
Yay.
Very seasonable temperatures. Our skies are going to clear out later this afternoon, giving us a little bit of sunshine. So a very nice day on tap. We did have quite a bit of rain that moved through last night. I know it put a damper on some people's plans that were out at Hillbilly Days. You can see that on our radar loop here, that we did have a number of showers and even some relatively strong storms push through the region last night. Probably heard a little bit of thunder, but that has since cleared out. We do have just a couple of very, very light showers hanging out. If you see that at all, it will be very brief and very light, not expected to cause any problems today, and all of those will dry out within the next hour or so. But although the rain is not an issue today, fog is a slightly different story. We are seeing quite a bit of fog across eastern Kentucky this morning. Visibility down to 2.5 miles out at Wise, down to 5 miles at Middlesboro, Harlan, and Paintsville, and down to 4 miles at Jackson. So if you're headed out this morning, keep that in mind. Temperature-wise, we're starting out fairly mild in the lower 50s across the board. Later on this afternoon, we will not get quite as warm as we have over the past couple of days, but we will still see those temperatures rise into the upper 60s, and a couple places might even break the 70-degree mark if they're lucky. So this morning, if you're headed out, keep in mind that fog, but this afternoon looks really nice, and I'll have all the details on the rest of your week coming up in a little bit.
And thank you. The Wayne County coroner has identified a woman whose body was found in a well yesterday afternoon. The coroner tells us 28-year-old Rachel Jones's body was pulled from a well on Tober Road, which is off Brammer Hill Ridge Road in Wayne County. They spent most of the afternoon investigating at the well and at a home on Brammer Hill Ridge Road. Troopers have not released how Jones died, but they did say they are looking for 29-year-old Joseph A. Jones as a possible suspect. Troopers say Jones was last seen driving a 2002 Honda Accord with license plate 68RPY. He's considered armed and dangerous. An autopsy is scheduled for today. They say it was a strange call. Johnson County Sheriff's deputies received a call yesterday morning about a man walking down the road. They say he was walking on Main Street in Thelma with a knife in his back. I met up with officials to learn more about the bizarre case.
Friday around 5 in the morning, police received a call about a man walking down this road.
We assume he was looking for help.
Police say he had been stabbed in the back.
So, we get there, he actually still has the knife lodged in his back.
Officials say he was calm when they arrived, but wouldn't tell them what happened. When I spoke to officials, they told me the man will not cooperate, revealing what may have happened or who may have been involved. Now, they also tell me the man is wanted here in Kentucky and nationwide.
But he's just not cooperating, which makes me think, what else is going on?
So as of right now, we're trying to piece together the puzzle and see what was going on.
Officials sent him to the Pikeville Medical Center, where they say he's in serious but stable condition.
The sheriff's office is asking the public to come forward with any information they have in relation to the case. The top FBI official in Kentucky says he took a special interest in the recent trial of a hazard doctor and his wife. Special Agent Howard Marshall made the comment yesterday during a taping of Issues and Answers, the Mountain Edition. A federal jury last week convicted Dr. Ace Cheney, his wife Lisa, and their business Ace Clinique of Medicine in a case that involved illegal drug distribution and healthcare fraud. Agent Marshall says he's pleased with the verdict.
There were accusations that the investigation was shoddy, that the FBI didn't do its job. And while we're all very professional and these accusations are made by defense attorneys all the time, at some level they still sting a little bit.
The Cheneys strongly denied any wrongdoing and plan to appeal the conviction. You can watch the full episode of Issues and Answers with FBI agent Howard Marshall Monday night at 7 here on WYMT for more information on how to retrieve your medical records if you are a former client of Cheneys. For now, it looks like former Knox County School Board Chairman Dexter Smith will get off without facing charges. This all comes as we uncovered Smith lied about having a high school diploma and later lied about taking the GED. WYMT's Haley Minogue has more.
The Kentucky Attorney General announced following the resignation, their investigation is suspended. But the Department of Education and Kentucky State Police say theirs will continue.
We have received information that Mr. Smith did resign today as a Knox County School Board member. However, Kentucky State Police does have an open investigation on Mr. Smith, and we will continue that investigation. And we're just waiting at this time for the Commonwealth Attorney to allow us to present this case to a Knox County grand jury.
But that day may never come. Commonwealth's Attorney Jackie Steele does not plan to prosecute Smith. He told us, quote, the quickest way to resolve the issue of the Board of Education and no superintendent at this time would be to get Smith's resignation. A Knox County School Board official hopes it will end distractions.
At the end of the day, we just want to continue with the progress we're making here in Knox County, especially at the end of school with testing coming up, and return to some level of normal as we've tried to finish out the school year.
The Knox County School Board will now begin trying to fill Smith's position. They will send applications to the Department of Education Commissioner, who will choose a replacement. In Knox County, Haley Minogue, WYMT Mountain News.
In the meantime, should any votes be presented at the school board meeting on Tuesday night and a tie occur, the issue will end in a tie. There will be no alternate voter. Smith and his attorney both declined to comment. Next month, we could learn a trial date for a Floyd County murder suspect. In 2014, prosecutors say Floyd Jr. Sexton shot and killed Bill Russell Collins. Jennifer Jernigan, along with John Tate Maggard, face complicity charges in the case. All have pleaded not guilty in the case. Sexton's next court date is set for May 26th. People in one eastern Kentucky county are mourning the death of a judge. Harlan County District Judge Jeff Brock died yesterday. He was 55. This is video of Brock celebrating after winning the primary election for district judge in 2006. He went on to win the general election that year. Prior to that, Brock was an attorney in Harlan. Henson and Rich Funeral Home in Harlan is handling arrangements which are incomplete at this time. For residents in Somerset, he was an icon in the community. Last night, Ward Corral died at UK Hospital. The Pulaski County businessman was injured in an accidental shooting at his home 6 weeks ago. Corral owned Cumberland Lake Shell and several other businesses in the Somerset area. Years ago, he shared a vision to give kids in Pulaski County a place to enjoy.
But if you look at Summer Splash Water Park, he donated the land for that, for the Cal Ripken Little League fields, the Somerset Christian School, and you could go on and on.
Just Thursday, a new facility on the University of the Cumberland's campus was named after Corral. Business managers and community organizations came together in Harlan County yesterday morning, hoping to propel the Appalachian economy through training and technology. WYMT's Caleb No joined them to hear their ideas.
You're going to have a set direction on how you want to start running.
Officials in Harlan County say it's time to start taking steps toward a brighter future.
It's a little bit outside of the box, and I think those are the thoughts we need here.
EKSEP and the Advantage Kentucky Alliance are teaming up to provide businesses with tools for growth and sustainability.
These are businesses right now that for various different reasons, they need to reinvent themselves.
Now, the new partnership is not necessarily designed to create new businesses, but rather to foster the ones that are already here.
We had at one time 6 factories.
We want the small businesses in Harlan to stay in business, and we want to see them grow.
It's a 3-step process driven by Advantage Kentucky, which ends in an e-commerce session and tools local companies will use to maintain a web presence.
The e-commerce piece is important if you want to actually do any business globally, certainly even in the state.
Globalizing Appalachia.
There are opportunities for our businesses here. These are talented, smart people who sometimes just need a little bit of information to go do these other things.
opening new doors and, well, new windows for business owners. In Harlan County, Caleb No, WYMT Mountain News.
Advantage Kentucky and EKSEP are currently taking applications from businesses in EKSEP's coverage area for the program. Coming up on Mountain News this morning, making amends. We'll tell you how a former Magoffin County thief apologized with interest. And later in sports, former U-Pike women's basketball head coach Joanna McNamee introduced today as Albany's new head coach. Hear from her and what she hopes to bring to the team.
And clearing skies and seasonable temperatures in store today. I'll have the details on that and more coming up in your full forecast.
We just made a power buy on 3,000 washers and dryers. Now buy one of these select washers and get the dryer half price. Plus, you can get a 32-inch LED TV free. It's a half price dryer blowout. Just another reason why Big Sandy is bigger and better.
I'm Glenn Hammond, and I believe in East Kentucky. I believe you are worth fighting for.
Winchell is out of here! Spring's the time to buy Freedom Honda.
Drive home a new 2015 Civic LX just $18,907, or a 2015 Accord Sport $23,491, a 2016 CRV LX all-wheel drive just $24,480, or drive a 2016 Odyssey SE $31,480 during the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
Plus, get a lifetime powertrain warranty on all qualified vehicles purchased.
Because there's nothing like freedom!
For a limited time, Pikeville Medical Center is offering an incredible $5,000 bonus to all newly hired registered nurses. This is an exciting career opportunity for nurses who want to earn top pay and excellent benefits. Our registered nurses just received big pay increases. We believe we're offering the best salaries in the state. For more information, call 606-218-4908. Ask about a $5,000 hiring bonus. Pikeville Medical Center, equal opportunity employer.
It all ends Tuesday. Big Sandy's 63rd anniversary sale. Hurry to get 63 months, 0 interest, up to 63% off, and double the free gift cards up to $1,000. Plus free shipping and service after the sale. Ends Tuesday at Big Sandy.
I think a lot of people probably ran into some scattered showers yesterday. I know I did. Is today going to clear up? It sounds like it is.
Yes, absolutely. Most of that rain has already pushed out of the area. We have just a couple of very light lingering showers out near the Virginia state line, but most of us are starting out the day dry, and we are going to stay that way throughout the duration of your weekend, in fact. But like you mentioned, we did have a number of showers and storms push through the area last night. Many of you probably got caught in some of that rain or maybe heard a rumble of thunder or two. But now we are mostly dry, as I mentioned, just a couple of very small light showers, especially out near the Virginia state line. But most of us are starting out dry this morning, and even those showers are going to clear out here in the next hour or so. Although the rain is not an issue this morning, fog is a slightly different story. Many locations are dealing with fog this morning. Out at Wise, visibility is down to 1 3/4 miles. Visibility down to 4 miles in Harlan, as well as Jackson, 5 miles in Paintsville. So if you're headed out this morning, just keep that in mind. You might run into a little bit of fog, so be careful if you're driving. Temperatures are fairly mild across eastern Kentucky, starting out in the low 50s, some places a little bit closer to the mid 50s. But as we go through the rest of your day, we are actually going to warm up quite nicely. So this morning might deal with a little bit of fog, but as we go through the rest of your day, those clouds are going to start to clear, and we're actually going to top out in the upper 60s. And a couple locations could potentially even get up to the 70-degree mark, but most of us will top out in the upper 60s, as I mentioned, as those skies begin to clear later on this afternoon. Those temperatures are actually fairly seasonable for this time of year. Our average high is 70 degrees, and today we're expected to top out just a couple of degrees below that this morning, starting out fairly seasonable as well. We've seen so many 80-degree temperatures over the past few days, that's starting to feel like the normal, but today is actually where we're supposed to be. Now, Future View is going to break down for you just what I'm talking about with that cloud cover clearing out. We are mostly cloudy this morning, and like I mentioned, a couple spotty showers. But as we go through the morning, those are going to dry out, but that cloud cover is going to stick around. By lunchtime, we'll start to see those clear just a little bit, but then as we go into the afternoon, they'll clear out the rest of the way, and we will be mostly sunny by this evening. And those skies will remain clear as we go through the overnight hours and into Sunday morning. And Sunday actually looks very nice and sunny, and those warm temperatures will make a return. If you're planning on heading out to Hillbilly Days in Pikeville today, it's going to be a pretty good day for it. Nice mild temperatures and partly cloudy. Tonight, if you head out a little bit later, we will be mostly clear, a little bit cool and nice and dry. So it's going to be a fantastic night to be out if you get the chance. As far as the rest of the week is concerned, we are clearing out as we go through the day today. Tomorrow, nice and sunny with temperatures near 80 degrees. We will see some clouds begin to increase and move back in on Monday, but temperatures stay warm with highs in the low 80s. Rain returns to the forecast Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as a number of different things begin to work their way into eastern Kentucky ahead of a low pressure system. But again, those temperatures are still going to stay above average. And then Friday could see a shower or two lingering around into the morning hours, but we should clear out nicely for the end of the week.
Well, I see some 80-degree temperatures and a little bit of sun with mixed rain.
Yes, it's not all going to be a washout. Even those rain chances in the middle of the week are going to be a scattered, little hit or miss.
Great, something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you, Arden. Coming up next, we'll have all your sports highlights.
When you see news happening, dial star 57 or text your news tip to 5757. Service is provided by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
If you've been turned down for Social Security benefits, you need legal advice from attorneys experienced in Social Security cases. Tom Moak and B.D. Nunnery have been helping people get the benefits they're entitled to for nearly 30 years. They'll review your case at no charge. There's no fee unless benefits are recovered for you. If the system meant to protect you isn't working for you, call Moak and Nunnery, dedicated to protecting your legal rights.
Tender steak, crispy onions, and steak butter with garlic and chives for $1.99? That's high fashion flavor at a thrift store price. The buttery steak burger, checkers and rallies, fast foodies know the deal.
One day, it appears.
Is that a dark spot?
Gold Bond Dark Spot Minimizing Cream for Body. Targeted to help fade the look of dark spots beginning in 4 weeks. Gold Bond for dark spots in the body lotion aisle.
Here's a fun way to control your luck. It's a game called Keno. You can start with $1. You pick your numbers, your odds, and your wager. And the winnings, well, they could be major. Just pick your numbers and hope you win. A few minutes later, you can play it again. Now play Keno wherever Kentucky Lottery games are sold.
How happy are we that Mike and Molly's back? Chew the puppy.
Are you giving me kisses?
The final season of Mike and Molly returns CBS Monday.
One mad genius versus a team of geniuses.
He's crazier than ever.
This will not turn out well for you.
I love you and I always will.
You're going to die today.
Sports, sponsored by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
This is WYMT Mountain Sports, your home for the Kentucky Wildcats and local high school sports.
A little over a week ago, the University at Albany announced the hiring of UPike women's head basketball coach Joanna McNamee. Friday, Coach Mack and her family were introduced to the fans and the media up in Albany. In her 3 seasons with the Bears, she went 63-36, but of course, most notably, taking UPike to uncharted territory for the women's program, reaching the Fab Four this past season. Coach Mack plans to keep her coaching style the same with the Great Danes.
I'm always going to, of course, run the system that fits the athletes, but at heart, my style is to get up and down the floor, really get after them and make or miss. I have a very unique transition that garners a lot of points and gets them up and down, but defensively, I also like to push tempo. So I'm excited to get that brand of basketball, which has already almost been established here. I know that Coach Abe ran a very up-tempo system, so it won't be that far from that. It'll just have my kind of flavor attached to it.
On a football or basketball team, the term brotherhood is tossed around a lot, but for two teammates on UPike's football team, it's not just a word to describe their relationship with their team. They really are brothers. For Austin and Nathan Prey, playing on the same team isn't anything new. The two played in high school together at Perry Central and both led successful careers for the Commodores, mainly on the offensive side of the ball. But this past season, with UPike, freshman Nathan moved to the other side of the ball, adding yet another aspect to their sibling rivalry.
It was really exciting, and it's just it's different having him here, having him on the other side of the ball, and having to go against him every day. In high school, it was a lot of mostly offense, just kind of making plays together on Fridays. So now on Saturdays, it's a lot of just kind of cheering each other on. One of us on the field, one on the sideline. I think it's a little easier on the parents, though.
Older brother Austin says going against each other in practice brings out the best in both of them. Younger brother Nathan agrees, but adds the team likes to add fuel to the fire.
It's actually really exciting. Sometimes we fight on the field, but outside the field we love each other, and the people on the team, the rest of the players, they call me Big Prey, just to make him mad, and he knows that I'll never let him get the best of me, so we just constantly going at it, but we make each other better.
Competition aside, both Preys know at the end of the day they're lucky to share in the camaraderie and brotherhood of the team with someone who shares a bond that will far exceed their time on the football field.
It definitely makes us feel a lot more at home, and I think we started off closer, and we're just getting even closer as it goes on. And
a true brotherhood, both on and off the field. From football to baseball now, the Batcats at home last night against Arkansas. Now this game was all about pitching and all about some defense. No score in the sixth. Arkansas threatening, but Zach Brown makes the nice play to end the threat and the inning. Javon Shelby here rips a shot to third, but Cody Scroggins makes the diving play and gets Shelby by a step, saving extra bases there, and the inning would be over. UK here with a man on in the eighth. Arkansas catcher Michael Bernal throws to first, but Tyler Marshall will be picked off. But look at the tag. It was never applied. Tough break there for the Cats. We go to the 10th. Scoreless, no more. Chad Spangberger, a long homer over the Blue Monster in right. Arkansas outlasts Kentucky in game one, 1-0 the final score. And finally to the high school, Diamond Prestonsburg traveling up to West Carter for the All-A-State sectional. They lose in 5 innings, 13-3. West Carter advances to the All-A-State tournament. That will be May 7th and 8th. Hazard already punched its ticket earlier this week. Back with more news after this.
It all ends Tuesday. Big Sandy's 63rd anniversary sale. Hurry to get 63 months, 0 interest, up to 63% off, and double the free gift cards up to $1,000. Plus free shipping and service after the sale. Ends Tuesday at Big Sandy.
It broke our hearts to have to put Mom in the nursing home, but we thought at least she'd be safe. We were so wrong, and now the home won't even own up to their mistakes. How can we protect her now when no one seems to care?
I'm Attorney Glenn Hammond. If your parents, grandparents, or a loved one has been abused or neglected in a nursing home, we're going to make it right. Call me right now. I'll help you do right by your family and get them the fair treatment and compensation they deserve.
Call the Glenn Martin Hammond Law Office now, 437-7777.
When you're talking Ford, Freedom stands above all the others with 4 times the selection and the best deals.
Drive home a new 2016 Fiesta for just $15,400, or a 2016 Focus just $16,900. Get $1,000 off MSRP and 0% APR on a 2016 Escape, or take home a 4-wheel drive 2016 F-150, now just $28,900.
And you're covered with a lifetime warranty on every new vehicle purchased. Because there's nothing like freedom.
Kentucky's 40th Annual Shriners Hillbilly Days Festival, April 21st through 23rd in Pikeville, Kentucky. 3 live stages of music, carnival rides, 300 vendors, a car show, and the Shriners Parade Saturday. The 40th Annual Hillbilly Days Festival, April 21st through 23rd in Pikeville, Kentucky.
It all ends Tuesday. Big Sandy's 63rd anniversary sale. Get this 50-inch LED TV, $299. Famous Name 2-piece sectional, $699. 63 months, 0 interest, and double the free gift card. Ends Tuesday at Big Sandy.
Well, we had a number of showers and storms move through the area yesterday evening, but we have since dried out nicely, and your Saturday is actually shaping up to be pretty pleasant. As I mentioned, we had a number of showers and storms move through, but at this time we are mostly dry. We have a couple of very, very small light showers hanging out near the Virginia state line, but those should be raining themselves out and we should be dry within the next hour or two. As far as fog is concerned, though, the rain isn't an issue, but this just might be. Wise visibility down to 1 3/4 of a mile. Harlan and Jackson visibility down to 4 miles. Painesville down to 5. So just keep that in mind if you're headed out this morning. You might run into some fog. Temperature-wise, we're starting out fairly mild this morning in the lower 50s, and as we go through the rest of your day, we'll warm up rather nicely and top out in the upper 60s. Some folks might even flirt with 70 degrees. As you go through the rest of your morning, though, keep in mind that we do have that fog to contend with. It should start to clear up by around 8 a.m., but some of the places where it's a little bit thicker could still be seeing some fog by that time. By 9 a.m., though, we should be clear. And although we will still be mostly cloudy, we will not see those clouds clear out until around lunchtime. But this afternoon will be mostly sunny and very pleasant with seasonable temperatures. An absolutely gorgeous day ahead. I'll let you know what you can expect for the rest of the week a little later. Lauren?
Arden, thank you. Authorities in Pike County, Ohio are trying to piece together a mass murder. 8 members of the same family were killed in 4 different locations. Police aren't ruling out the possibility the killer or killers are still at large. CBS's Marley Hall has details.
Investigators in Pike County, Ohio are working 4 different crime scenes, trying to piece together who killed 8 members of the Roden family and why.
There's a strong possibility that any individuals involved with this are armed and extremely dangerous.
7 adults and a 16-year-old were killed. Authorities say each victim was shot in the head.
The one mom apparently was killed in her bed with the 4-day-old right there.
The newborn survived, along with a 6-month-old and a 3-year-old. Grief counselors and community members are trying to comfort relatives.
It's such a tragic situation, what's happening. They've got a lot of questions.
Police say they're following up on all tips and encourage anyone with information to come forward. Marley Hall, CBS News.
The Attorney General said several people are being interviewed, but he would not use the term person of interest to describe any of them. Stunned fans around the world continue to mourn and celebrate Prince, who died unexpectedly at his suburban Minneapolis home this weekend. He had battled illness for the past few weeks, and now investigators are counting on an autopsy to shed some light on what caused the pop superstar's death. Omar Villafranca has the latest from Minnesota.
We're learning more about the final hours of Prince's life. The 57-year-old megastar, who had millions of fans, died all alone in his sprawling home and studio compound.
There were no obvious signs of trauma on the body at all.
The local sheriff says Prince was last seen at about 8 Wednesday evening when friends dropped him off at home. Worried employees couldn't reach Prince Thursday morning and eventually found him fully clothed and slumped inside an elevator on the first floor. It is not known how long he had been dead.
We have no reason to believe at this point that this was a suicide.
Prince's body was released to his family following a 4-hour-long autopsy on Friday.
The mood here at Prince's Paisley Park estate is somber as fans gather to show their love and say goodbye.
I can't even begin to imagine what life is like after Prince now.
Since word of Prince's death, thousands have been taking part in a dance party in Minneapolis. It's expected to last all weekend to celebrate the life of the man the sheriff called a good neighbor. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Chanhassen, Minnesota.
The medical examiner says it will be days or weeks before test results, including toxicology results, are known. Prince fans in New Orleans have organized a jazz funeral for the music icon set for Monday. The amount of drama in the 2016 presidential race increases as the next round of voting in the race for the Republican and Democratic presidential nominations gets closer and the pool of delegates to win shrinks. Candidates are firing remarks back and forth at each other and also coming up with new ways to promote themselves. Trump's campaign manager says Trump is projecting a new image, evolving, and soon the nation could see a real different guy. But Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton isn't buying into the idea of a kind and gentle Trump.
If I am the nominee, we could very well have a campaign that is exactly all about that. Insults, derogatory comments.
There are more than 450 Democratic delegates at stake in 5 East Coast states. Clinton is leading in the polls in each state. A historic agreement on climate change marked a major milestone on Friday with a record of 175 countries signing on to it on opening day. But world leaders made clear more action is needed and quickly to fight a relentless rise in global temperatures. With the planet heating up to record levels, sea levels rising and glaciers melting, the pressure to have the Paris Agreement enter into force and to have every country turn its words into deeds was clear at the UN signing ceremony. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry signed the climate agreement and addressed the crowd.
Paris marked the moment when the world finally decided to heed the ever-rising mountain of evidence that had been piling up for years. It marked the moment that we put to rest once and for all the debate over whether climate change is real, and began instead to galvanize our focus on how, as a global community, we are going to address the irrefutable reality that nature is changing at an increasingly rapid pace due to our own choices.
The agreement will enter into force once 55 countries representing at least 55% of global emissions has formally joined it, a process initially expected to take place 2020. The FBI reveals what they paid to get into the San Bernardino shooter's iPhone, and Ford's F-150 will soon be headed somewhere new. Brooke Salvabraga has the details in today's CBS Money Watch.
Weak earnings reports from Google and Microsoft sent shares of both tumbling Friday. Overall, the Dow closed up 21 points. The Nasdaq was down 39. Caterpillar, the world's largest maker of heavy machinery, announced lower than expected sales. That's seen as bad news for global construction. Caterpillar said they were especially disappointed by demand from Latin America, the mining industry, and transportation construction. FBI Director James Comey said the Bureau paid more than $1 million for help cracking the iPhone of the San Bernardino shooter. Comey was somewhat cryptic about the exact figure, saying only that it was more than he'll make in the rest of his term as FBI Director, which is about $1.3 million. Ford will export its new F-150 Raptor to China starting next year. Some Chinese enthusiasts have already paid up to $160,000 for the few current model Raptors that have made it into the country. The new F-150, both here and in China, will have a smaller 3.5-liter V6 engine that Ford says will actually be more powerful than the current V8 engine. That's your Money Watch. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. In New York, I'm Brooke Silva-Braga.
Here's a preview of what you'll see later today on CBS This Morning.
Coming up, the day's headlines, plus the art of inspiration. How one woman's painting inspired a best-selling author to write his first children's book.
Plus, a fight with his business partners led him to go out on his own. We'll go inside a restaurateur's ambitious eatery housed inside a sprawling suburban mansion.
And Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Bonnie Raitt is back with a new album. We'll talk to her about how music got her through her recent loss, and she'll perform in our Saturday session.
All that plus your eye-opener ahead on CBS This Morning, Saturday.
Trust is delivering on promises, and People's Bank and Trust has been doing exactly that for more than 90 years. They have the planning and the resources you need to help you take advantage of opportunities, with all the technology you need to make banking easy. Your success requires vision and the resources of a bank that's on your side. That's People's Bank and Trust of Hazard. They're here for you. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
You may never need an attorney, but if you do, you should be prepared. Tune in to Simply the Law with Gary C. Johnson, Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock on WYMT.
Our ARH delivery team was there when she came into this world, with her chubby cheeks and wrinkly knees. As she grew up, we kept her healthy with checkups and vaccines. When she experienced life's changes, she turned to us, first for annual women's checkups, and later for mammogram screenings. And when you grow older, we'll help you stay heart healthy and maintain good bone density. So when you look back, you'll both remember us with a smile.
Nissan's family of crossovers with intuitive all-wheel drive. See driving in a more confident light. For a limited time, lease Rogue, just $189 per month, or get 0% financing for up to 36 months. Take on Mother Nature. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
When news breaks, always be in the know with WYMT on the go. Join us on your tablet or smartphone by going to WYMT.com or our app, powered by Appalachian Wireless.
You're watching Eastern and Southern Kentucky's #1 source for news, Mountain News Weekend Edition, with Lauren Osborne, Sky Alert Weather with Arden Gregory, and Sports with Lauren Cash.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm Lauren Osborne. Today is Saturday, April 23rd. Let's check in with meteorologist Arden Gregory for a look at your forecast this morning. Well, we all know it was not a good day yesterday. It was not a fun day to be outside if you had to be. Today, though, is shaping up to be a little bit better.
Yeah, yesterday was a little bit hit or miss. It was either hot or it was raining is how it felt yesterday. But today is a very different story. We are going to be dry and we are going to be cooler. So across the board, a nicer day. But as she mentioned, we did have a number of showers and storms move through the area last night. Most of those have since pushed off to our east. We do have a couple of very, very light showers moving across areas close to the Virginia state line, but those should be raining themselves out fairly soon. If you see any rain at all, it will be very brief and very light and should clear out within the next little bit. Although the rain is not an issue this morning, fog is a slightly different story. We are seeing fog in a number of places across eastern Kentucky. Visibility down to 1¼ miles in Wise. Harlan and Jackson visibility down to 2½ miles. Paintsville and Middlesboro both seeing visibility down to 5 miles this morning. So if you're headed out, keep that in mind. You might want to take a little extra time as you could run into some fog. Temperatures starting out rather mild this morning in the low to mid 50s. As we go through the rest of your day, we are going to warm up nicely, though not quite as warm as yesterday. Temperatures topping out in the upper 70s to possibly right around the 70-degree mark. If you plan on heading out to Hillbilly Days today, though, it's going to be a much nicer day than yesterday. Mild temperatures and mostly sunny this afternoon. I'll have the details on what you can expect the rest of the week coming up in a little bit. Lauren?
Arden, thank you. Well, it's never too late to say sorry. Last week, a drugstore owner in Magoffin County got a letter in the mail from someone who shoplifted and regretted it. Our Mike Byer is talking to the owner of Predator Drugs, who says this letter has renewed his faith in the goodness of people.
Just never had that to happen before in all the time I've been here.
Tom Frazier has seen just about everything in his 49 years of being the owner and pharmacist of Predator Drugs in Salyersville. But last Friday, Frazier received an anonymous letter in the mail that took him by complete surprise.
I opened it, and this is what was in it.
2 $50 bills and an apology letter that reads,
"Some time ago, I took merchandise from your store without paying for it. The cost of the item was around $80. So I'm enclosing $100 to cover the cost of those items, and I am sorry that I did this, and I just want to make it right."
Even though the letter says around $80 worth of items were taken, the person sent $100.
They overpaid for it $20, and I'd like to give $20 back to everyone it was in it.
Now, Frazier isn't sure which items were taken or when it happened, but he says that isn't important. He says what's important is that someone turned a bad choice into a positive light. a lesson he says we can all learn from.
Kind of tells you that their conscience was bothering them because they had stole something and they wanted to make that right. Some people still believe in the Lord and try to do what's right.
Mike Byer, WYMT Mountain News.
Frazier says he wants to thank the person who made up for their mistake. He says this shows there are still good people in the world. The state says about 9,000 people in Kentucky will lose their food stamps on May 1st for not complying with federal work and training requirements. Kentucky and dozens of other states received a statewide waiver from 2008 to 2015 from the federal requirements. The State Cabinet for Health and Family Services says as the economy recovers, the waiver no longer will cover recipients in Bullitt, Hardin, Jefferson, Fayette, Davies, Henderson, McCracken, and Warren counties. The state's other 112 counties remain eligible for the waiver. With an estimated 75,000 folks coming to experience Hillbilly Days, the city of Pikeville sees an economic boost. WYMT's Chandler Markey spoke with business owners and employees who say this festival weekend always keeps them busy.
With all of the tourists, businesses in Pikeville are feeling the surge.
It's an enormous amount of people to bring into a condensed area, and those retailers and those restaurants and the hotels, those businesses that benefit from tourist traffic definitely see an impact.
Employees at Bob's Southern Smokehouse say they're impressed with the amount of business they've already seen.
It's actually been good, I think, for us advertising-wise, because a lot of people told us yesterday they didn't even know we were down here. So we did very well, a lot better than we thought we would.
Down at the Hilton Garden Inn, managers say they're almost always booked solid for the weekend, and the Hillbilly Days crowd is a bit different than what they're used to.
We do a lot of conferences and meetings and things like that, so when the Hillbillies come in, we really enjoy that. It's a nice change of pace.
A change of pace that leaves a positive impact on the community.
Now, as she mentioned, today is the last day of Hillbilly Days. Be sure to go check out the booths and don't forget your local businesses. There was one event that captivated many people at Hillbilly Days yesterday morning and afternoon. It was the first ever pig drop. Here's how it works. This pig named Wes was released in a pig pen that has 100 numbered squares. Now, people paid $20 for a number, and depending on which square the pig goes to the bathroom, someone wins $1,000 for themselves, and $1,000 will be donated to Shriners Hospital. The drop started at 11, and hours later, there was still no winner.
It's wonderful if you just get in a hurry.
It's taking too long.
Many people say they do not think it would take this long for the pig to do his business. After 5 hours, Wes finally made a move on lucky number 98. Those who plan the event say next year they hope they have 3 pigs participate in order to speed up the process. The smell of food lingers in the air at Hillbilly Days, but what about the sounds? WYMT's Alex Casper Peak spoke to 2 women who say the sound of Hillbilly Days is bluegrass music.
The banjos are playing, guitars tuned.
When I hear music, I want to dance.
And feet hit the dance floor. Each day of the festival, there is live music near the old courthouse on Main Street and outside of the East Kentucky Expo Center.
We just love the music, people, the atmosphere. It's all great.
To some, listening to live bands is their favorite part.
It's just in my blood. That's all I've done. I love it. I love the dancing.
With the sound of bluegrass filling the streets of Pikeville, it's a good time for hillbillies to
kick my shoes off and go. Just let it go.
As many dance their weekend away to the sounds of the festival.
The bands will be playing again today, so there's plenty of time to make your way to Pikeville and enjoy the music. Well, afternoon showers sent folks at Hillbilly Days running yesterday, but not for long. WYMT's Chandler Markey spoke to some people who braved the rain for the festival.
The first day and a half of Hillbilly Days were hot and sunny, but Friday afternoon, that all changed.
It was really sunny, we were getting a rush, and then all of a sudden people were running, and it was bad.
The sudden rain put some hillbilly fun on hold.
When it started, we ran down to the truck,
but we were listening to music they were playing in the park.
The streets cleared out, but as soon as the rain stopped falling, the fun began again.
Well, it affects it somewhat, but people find a place or find shelter and they'll come back out when it quits raining.
When people will start getting interested again because they were saying that they'd be back after the rain.
Rain or shine, these folks have proved they're here to stay.
Now what are you going to do?
Walk around.
I'm going to do the singing contest.
The rain has come and moved out, but bring an umbrella.
Saturday is the last day of Hillbilly Days. In Pike County, Chandler Markey, WYMT Mountain News.
The Hillbilly Days Parade starts at 2 this afternoon. Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a pet shop owner is accused of paying a prostitute and then leaving a monkey as a tip. We'll have the whole bizarre story. And later, we'll check in with Jason Lindsay to see what he's working on for us in this morning's Hooked on Science segment.
And a really nice weekend on tap, but rain returns to the forecast next week. I'll have all the details coming up in your full forecast.
It's our greatest kitchen package event ever. Frigidaire packages starting at just $14.99. See the largest selection of black stainless steel kitchen packages in the area. Plus up to 3 years interest-free with select packages of free 50-inch TV. Now at Big Sandy Superstores.
Kentucky Lottery jackpot sequence has been initiated. Prepare for current jackpot amount.
Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $251 million.
Rachel is out of here.
Spring's the time to buy Freedom Honda.
Drive home a new 2015 Civic LX just $18,907. Or a 2015 Accord Sport $23,491. A 2016 CRV LX all-wheel drive just $24,480. Or drive a 2016 Odyssey SE $31,480 during the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
Plus, get a lifetime powertrain warranty on all qualified vehicles purchased.
Because there's nothing like freedom.
Philip Wheeler works hard as a lawyer helping people, but the job he takes most seriously is dad. Like all parents, Philip and his wife Crystal want a strong future for their son right here at home in Eastern Kentucky. But without the right leadership, that future won't be possible. That's why Philip is running for state representative, so his son Weston and other kids won't have to leave the place we call home.
Vote for my dad, Philip Wheeler.
Searching for the WYMT Mountain Student Achiever? Then log on to WYMT.com and click here for the best and brightest in Eastern Kentucky. Sponsored by the University of Pikeville.
It all ends Tuesday. Big Sandy's 63rd anniversary sale. Hurry to get 63 months, 0 interest, up to 63% off, and double the free gift cards up to $1,000. Plus free shipping and service after the sale. Ends Tuesday at Big Sandy.
When you see news happening, dial star 57 or text your news tip to 5757. Service is provided by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger saving.
All right, and I'm sure a lot of people are wanting to get out today to Hillbilly Days or, just get out of their house because yesterday was such a bad day.
Yes.
Is today a good day to spend the day outside?
Absolutely. As I mentioned yesterday, it seemed like it was either hot or it was raining. Just not a great day to be outside. Today will be a very different story. Although we won't see a lot of sun, it will be a very pleasant day to be outside. As I mentioned, we did have some rain move through yesterday. We had a number of scattered showers and storms push through yesterday evening, but overnight we dried out rather nicely. Right now we still have a couple of very, very light spotty showers out near the Virginia state line, but those should be raining themselves out fairly soon. So if you see any rain at all, it will be very brief and very light, nothing to worry about. Although the rain is nothing to concern yourself with this morning, fog is a slightly different story. You may want to take a little extra time if you're headed out today because we are seeing quite a bit of fog in some locations. Wise visibility is down to 1 3/4 of a mile. Jackson visibility is down to 2.5 miles. So if you're in those regions, just take that extra time if you're headed out this morning. Temperature-wise, we are starting out fairly mild. We are anywhere from the low to mid-50s this morning. As we go through the rest of your day, we're not going to warm up quite as much as we did yesterday, topping out in the upper 60s. A couple spots might break 70 if we're lucky. This morning, though, should be a pretty good day to be out and about. We do have that fog this morning, mostly cloudy. As we head into the afternoon, though, we'll see those clouds begin to clear some, and temperatures will top out rather seasonably in the upper 60s. Like I mentioned, it will be a fairly nice day to be out and about. Again this morning, mostly cloudy, but we will see some sunshine later on this afternoon as those clouds begin to clear. And temperature-wise, for once, we're actually fairly seasonable. Our average high for this time of year is 70 degrees. Today, we should top out just below or right around that. We've seen so many 80-degree temperatures that's starting to feel like the norm, but today is actually what we're supposed to be feeling like in April. Now, as I mentioned, those clouds are going to begin to clear this morning. We are mostly cloudy right now with just a couple spotty showers. As we go through the morning hours, we're going to lose the showers but hang on to the clouds. By lunchtime, we will start to see those clouds break up just a little bit, but then as we head into the afternoon, they will clear out quite nicely and will actually be mostly sunny this evening. Those clear skies will be sticking with us through the overnight hours and into Sunday morning. And Sunday actually looks very sunny and nice and warm with temperatures warming into the low 80s once again. If you plan on heading out to the Hillbilly Days Festival today, it's going to be a fantastic day for it. Earlier on in the day, temperatures staying fairly mild and partly cloudy. Later on in the evening, we will be mostly clear, a little bit cool and nice and dry. A fantastic night to be out at the festival. And as far as the rest of the week is concerned, tomorrow looks rather nice, a little bit warm with temperatures topping out in the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees with plenty of sunshine. We will see those clouds begin to move back in and increase on Monday, but temperatures still manage to warm into the lower 80s. Rain chances arrived into the forecast Tuesday through Thursday, but again, those temperatures still staying above average. Could still see a few showers Friday morning, a little too early to tell, but then we will clear out rather nicely with temperatures a little bit cooler in the upper 70s, but not a total washout, not a bad week, a little bit warm again. We cannot get rid of these warm temperatures. It's too warm for April for me.
I think some people may argue with you. I think they're ready for the warm weather after the cold winter we had. But
I agree. I'm ready for the warmth, but 80 degrees, that's hot.
That is so hot. I know. I agree with you. Well, it looks like tomorrow's going to be the best day we have all week. So
yes, today and tomorrow both look beautiful.
Great. Thank you, Arden. We'll be right back.
Sometimes it's good not to do as everyone else does. Remember when Mom said, "Would you jump off a bridge just because everyone else is doing it?" Well, there are exceptions to the rule. Almost everyone is switching to Forward Pay from Appalachian Wireless. With Forward Pay, you can pay your bill up front and avoid contracts and credit checks while taking advantage of some awesome perks, like unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of data for just $44.99, or with 5 gigs for a mere $59.99. Forward Pay, the softer, gentler way to pay. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
People's Bank and Trust of Hazard is strongly committed to our community's development, investing in a wide range of business and local organizations. You need the support of a local bank that is looking for ways to help you succeed. That's what People's Bank and Trust is all about. They always have your best interest at heart. People's Bank and Trust of Hazard, strongly committed to our community. Member FDIC.
Kentucky's 40th Annual Shriners Hillbilly Days Festival, April 21st through 23rd in Pikeville, Kentucky. 3 live stages of music, carnival rides, 300 vendors, a car show, and the Shriners Parade Saturday. The 40th Annual Hillbilly Days Festival, April 21st through 23rd in Pikeville, Kentucky.
People really do live life in their Toyotas. Live well in the bold Toyota Camry. Now with just announced $500 bonus cash. Use it to get 0 for 60 plus $500. Get $2,000 cash back. Or lease Camry for $179 a month with $16.99 due at signing. Don't miss out. Now through May 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
In Oregon, a man is accused of burglarizing his own pet store, stealing money, paying a prostitute, and leaving a primate as a tip. Anthony Costura has the bizarre story.
No, this is my first time ever recovering a monkey from a prostitute.
A nearly 2-month-long search for this reportedly stolen primate is over, and the man responsible, police say all fingers point to Zany Zoo co-owner Nathan McLean of Eugene.
So we're talking about one person, and I have no reason to believe that the second person had any idea really what was going on here.
The other shop owner reported Gooey the Calico primate stolen along with Girl Scout cookie money and a laptop back on March 1st. It happened again just 4 days later.
I was collecting video from surrounding businesses and trying to identify any possible suspects using the video surveillance systems that were close by, looking for vehicles, people.
After combing through hours of footage, police finally identified a woman. They say McLean used the money to pay her, a prostitute, and the Bush baby, a tip in the transaction. Investigators and animal service specialists moved in with the help of the named woman and eventually got Gooey back.
So it's not something that we typically house at the shelter.
It has a different schedule.
He sleeps during the day. He's nocturnal, so he was just waking up when we got him.
Now the case is closed and it's one for the books.
Well, I hope no matter what happens, he finds a good home.
As for what will happen to Gooey, no word if he'll head back to the Zany Zoo.
It'll pretty much be up to the powers to be with the USDA and the store itself on what the next step in their licensing is going to be.
For now, he's cared for by the folks at a Eugene sanctuary.
Well, we had a number of showers and storms move through the area yesterday evening, but we have since dried out rather nicely, and your weekend is turning out to be pretty nice. Like I mentioned, we had a few showers and storms move through, but right now we are seeing just a couple of very spotty light showers closer to the Virginia state line. Those should dry up here rather soon, though. Although the rain is not of a concern this morning, fog is a slightly different story. Down in Wise, visibility down to 1 3/4 of a mile. Jackson, visibility down to 3 miles. Moorhead and Paintsville, visibility down to 4 miles. So keep in mind if you're headed out this morning, take the extra time as you may run into a little bit of fog. Temperature-wise, we're starting out fairly mild this morning with temperatures in the low to mid 50s. As we go through the rest of your day, we are going to warm up nicely with very seasonable temperatures, but not quite as warm as we have been the past couple of days, topping out in the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. As we go through the rest of your morning, we are rather foggy in some locations. As we head towards the 9 o'clock hour, we'll start to see some of that start to lift away. And by 10 a.m., we shouldn't be seeing any fog, but we will still have that cloud cover hanging around until around lunchtime. Now, don't forget, Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $108 million, and tonight's Powerball jackpot is $251 million. You're watching Mountain News This Morning right here on WYMT.
When you're talking Ford, Freedom stands above all the others with 4 times the selection and the best deals.
Drive home a new 2016 Fiesta for just $15,400, or a 2016 Focus just $16,900. Get $1,000 off MSRP and 0% APR on a 2016 Escape, or take home a 4-wheel drive 2016 F-150, now just $28,900.
And you're covered with a lifetime warranty on every new vehicle purchased. Because there's nothing like freedom.
At ARH, our facilities are award winners. The Leapfrog Group, setting the highest national standards in patient safety, quality, and transparency in healthcare, has awarded Grade A in hospital safety to Harlan ARH Hospital and Hazard ARH Regional Medical Center.
UK North Fork Valley Community Health Center offers state-of-the-art health care right here in Eastern Kentucky. We provide medical, dental, and psychological services for pediatrics and adults, as well as an on-site pharmacy for your convenience. Come visit us at 750 Morton Boulevard or call us and make an appointment at 439-1559. New patient and walk-ins are welcome. Whatever your needs, come see us at UK North Fork Valley Community Health Center, where we are family taking care of your family.
Spring, famous for road trips. Lee's, famous for chicken. Ride out spring at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken with a 12-piece box of our mixed classic chicken for only $15.99. Get the taste of springtime on your time when you pick up 12 pieces of our honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and pressure-cooked chicken. We're making it easy to treat your family to a picnic anytime you want. Pile on the value with a 12-piece box of our Famous Recipe Chicken for only $15.99. Only at Lee's. Famous for chicken.
Kentucky's 40th Annual Shriners Hillbilly Days Festival, April 21st through 23rd in Pikeville, Kentucky. 3 live stages of music, carnival rides, 300 vendors, a car show, and the Shriners Parade Saturday. The 40th Annual Hillbilly Days Festival, April 21st through 23rd in Pikeville, Kentucky.
Closed captioning presented by Wolf Williams and Reynolds, serving Eastern Kentucky for Social Security and Federal Black Lung.
My science helper Ethan and I have something pretty cool to show you. It's called a sound blaster. Take a closer look at the sound blaster we have engineered, and you can see how we built it. Basically, we took a metal slinky. You got to make sure you have a metal slinky, by the way, not a plastic one, and attached it to the bottom of a hefty plastic cup. Holding the base of the hefty plastic cup, I'm going to drop the slinky. Listen up, pay close attention. Did you hear that, Ethan? What is sound?
Vibrations moving through matter.
And that's what's happening. The metal slinky is creating vibrations that move up the slinky to the bottom of the cup. The cup amplifies the sound. Kind of reminds me of something I've heard in Star Wars. Remember Han Solo's blaster? Sounds just like that. Hear that? Learn more at hookedonscience.org.
Next on CBS This Morning, how one woman's painting inspired a best-selling author to write his first children's book. All that and more in just minutes right here on WYMT.
Have a great Saturday.